me, myself, and us explores the science of personality, offering insights into how our traits shape our behaviors, interactions, and overall well-being. Brian R. Little, a renowned personality psychologist, delves into the intricacies of human personality, arguing that understanding these nuances can help us lead more fulfilling lives. The book blends scientific research with personal anecdotes, making complex psychological concepts accessible to a broad audience. Understanding personality, traits, context, and projects. Little begins by explaining the foundational concepts of personality psychology. Personality traits are enduring patterns of thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that distinguish individuals from one another. The Big Five personality traits: openness, conscientiousness, extraversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism, serve as the primary framework for understanding personality in the book. However, Little emphasizes that traits alone do not define us. He introduces two additional factors: personal projects and context. Personal projects are the goals and activities that give our lives meaning and direction. Context refers to the environmental and social situations that influence how we express our traits. Traits are only part of the story. While traits are stable, they are not rigid. Little argues that people can and do act out of character when pursuing personal projects or when the context demands it. This flexibility is crucial for adaptation and personal growth. For example, an introverted person may act extroverted when giving a presentation if it aligns with their personal project of career advancement. This dynamic view of personality suggests that while our traits influence our behavior, they do not dictate it. We have the agency to change and adapt based on our goals and the situations we find ourselves in. The Big Five personality traits. Little offers a detailed examination of the Big Five traits. 1. Openness to experience. People high in openness are imaginative, curious, and open to new experiences. They are often drawn to creative endeavors and are comfortable with ambiguity and change. Those low in openness prefer routine, familiarity, and practical solutions. 2. Conscientiousness. This trait reflects a person's level of organization, dependability, and work ethic. Highly conscientious individuals are disciplined, goal-oriented, and methodical. On the other hand, those low in conscientiousness may be more spontaneous and less concerned with details and long-term planning. 3. Extraversion. Extroverts are outgoing, energetic, and thrive in social settings. They gain energy from interacting with others and are often seen as assertive and enthusiastic. Introverts, in contrast, are more reserved, preferring solitude or smaller groups, and may find social interactions draining. 4. Agreeableness. This trait reflects a person's tendency to be compassionate, cooperative, and trusting. Highly agreeable individuals are often empathetic and motivated by a desire to help others. Those low in agreeableness may be more competitive, skeptical, and focused on their own needs. 5. Neuroticism. Neuroticism is associated with emotional instability and a propensity for experiencing negative emotions such as anxiety, depression, and anger. Those high in neuroticism may be more reactive to stress, while those low in this trait tend to be more emotionally resilient and stable. Personal projects. The key to understanding behavior. Little's concept of personal projects is central to understanding how personality traits interact with behavior. Personal projects are the things we actively work on in our lives, from career goals to maintaining relationships to self-improvement efforts. They are deeply tied to our sense of identity and purpose. Little argues that understanding a person's personal projects can provide more insight into their behavior than knowing their traits alone. For instance, a person might be naturally introverted, but if they are deeply committed to a personal project that requires social interaction, such as building a network for their business, they may act more extroverted. Personal projects are also influenced by context. The environment in which we pursue our projects can either support or hinder our progress. For example, a highly conscientious person might struggle in a chaotic, unstructured work environment, whereas the same person could thrive in a setting that values organization and discipline. Context and the expression of personality. Context plays a significant role in how our traits are expressed. Liddell introduces the concept of free traits, where individuals temporarily act out of character in response to the demands of their environment. This adaptability is essential for achieving personal goals and maintaining social harmony. For example, an introverted person might take on a more extroverted role during a social gathering to fulfill a personal project, such as making new friends or networking for their career. However, this comes at a cost. Acting out of character can be draining and may lead to what Liddell calls free trait burnout, where the effort to sustain an inauthentic behavior leads to stress and exhaustion. The role of well-being in personality. Liddell emphasizes that well-being is not just about feeling good, but about leading a life that is congruent with one's values and personal projects. He distinguishes between three types of well-being. 1. Subjective well-being. Often equated with happiness, this is the presence of positive emotions and the absence of negative ones. It is influenced by both our personality traits, e.g., extroverts tend to experience more positive emotions, and our circumstances. 2. Psychological well-being. This involves a sense of purpose, personal growth, and autonomy. It is closely tied to the successful pursuit of personal projects that align with our core values. 3. Social well-being. This relates to our sense of connection and belonging within our communities. Agreeableness and extraversion are often linked to higher social well-being, as these traits foster relationships and social support networks. The interaction between traits and environment. Liddell explores how our environments can either amplify or mitigate the expression of our traits. For instance, a highly agreeable person in a competitive, cutthroat workplace may experience a conflict between their natural disposition and the demands of their environment. Similarly, a neurotic person in a supportive, stable environment might experience less anxiety than they would in a more chaotic setting. This interaction between traits and environment highlights the importance of finding contexts that are conducive to our personal projects and well-being. It also underscores the idea that we are not passive recipients of our environments. We can seek out or create contexts that better suit our personalities. Free traits and personal agency. One of the most compelling aspects of Liddell's theory is the concept of free traits. Free traits are the behaviors we adopt to fulfill our personal projects, even if they go against our natural inclinations. For example, a naturally shy person might adopt extroverted behaviors to succeed in a public speaking career. While free traits allow us to achieve our goals, they require energy and effort, and prolonged use can lead to burnout. Liddell advises that we should be mindful of when and how we deploy free traits, ensuring that we also engage in restorative activities that align with our natural dispositions. The role of identity in personality. Liddell also delves into the role of identity in shaping personality. Our sense of identity is closely tied to our personal projects, and shifts in these projects can lead to shifts in identity. For instance, a person who identifies as a caregiver may experience an identity crisis when their children grow up and leave home. Identity is also shaped by the stories we tell about ourselves. Liddell discusses the concept of narrative identity, where we construct a coherent story of our lives that gives meaning to our experiences. This narrative helps us make sense of our past and guides our future behavior. The Science of Personality and Personal Growth. Liddell encourages readers to engage in what he calls personal project analysis, a reflective exercise where individuals examine their current projects, assess how well they align with their traits and values, and consider how they might adapt their behavior or environment to better support their goals. This process of self-reflection and adaptation is crucial for personal growth. By understanding our personality traits and how they interact with our personal projects and contexts, we can make more informed decisions about how to live our lives. We can choose to pursue projects that align with our natural dispositions or develop strategies to manage the challenges that arise when our projects require us to act out of character. Conclusion. Embracing the complexity of personality. Me, myself, and us offers a nuanced view of personality that goes beyond static trait models. Brian Liddell's work emphasizes the dynamic interplay between traits, personal projects, and context, offering a more holistic understanding of what makes us who we are. The book invites readers to embrace the complexity of their personalities, recognizing that while our traits influence our behavior, they do not define us. We have the power to shape our lives through the projects we choose and the contexts we create, but we must also be mindful of the costs of acting out of character. Ultimately, Liddell's work is a call to live authentically, balancing the pursuit of our goals with the need to stay true to our core selves. By understanding the science of personality, we can make more conscious choices about how we live, work, and relate to others, leading to greater well-being and fulfillment.